7-pointer. I don't know why that is.
Where's that Stuart Mason from?
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Parish Park. It's Old Boys Day, West Devils, and a beautiful day it is for rugby league. We see the Dapto side making their way onto the paddock, and what a fitting match it is for Old Boys Day here at Parish Park. Two of the old rivals in the Illawarra League ready to do battle. Certainly an interesting clash. Dapto returned to form last week convincingly with a win over the defending premiers Collegians. The Devils returned to the winner's circle last week against Corrimal, but prior to that were on the wrong end of a 40-10 pasting at the hands of Collegians. And before that, a loss to the rule. So certainly looking to right their top two ship here this afternoon as we see them make their way onto the paddock. They'll line up this way. The host, Lachlan Hurst at the back. Will Tom and Luke McBridey are the wingers. Kurt Field and Colby Pello the centres. Zach Green and Justin Rodriguez are the halves. Kieran Rankmore and Dylan Laurie up front. Brad Speechley is the 9. Kyle Lodge and Glenn Stewart in the back row, and skipper Wade Stanford is the lock. Off the bench, Josh Daly, Nathan Leotingunga, Zach Blay and Jason Green. For the visitors, Harry Freeburn at the back, Josh Bryant and Nimi Keogh on the wings, Keith Lulia and DJ Harris in the three-quarter line. Jeff Robson and Harry Syker are the halves. Jamie Dunning, Dylan McGregor is the 9. Lulia up front, Joel Reddy, Michael Murphy and Penny Batiki. Off the bench, Michael Henderson, Stuart Mason, Reese Bowditch and Brody Hawkins. Certainly, I actually caught the last bit of the Devils warm-up on the way in to Parish Park, and certainly game faces on, as we said at the top of the call. The win last week over Corrimal, but prior to that, a couple of losses to their top 4 rivals. And also Pete McLeod just issuing a bit of a challenge to his boys this week. They were right in that match with Thruel, but a week later against Collegians, the effort, as Pete McLeod said through the week to the Illawarra Mercury, not quite there. So he'll certainly be looking for a response from his men in that area. It looks like it'll be Zach Green to get us underway. And it is. So the ball sailing down there to the far end. Jeff Robson collects it. Jamie Dunning bringing it back. We see there the skipper, Captain Coach Michael Henderson, has started there in the front row. He'll get his first touch now. Was curious to see Lulia named in the front row on the team sheet. Did not expect him to play there, and here he is now out here on the left edge. The offload as well, some space there. That'll be a knockdown, so 6 to go should be the call. It is. McGregor at dummy half. Mick Murphy with his first hit up, although not his first touch of the game. Henderson again, his second carry of that set. Syker to Lulia. That'll be a battle to watch here on this side. The two Lulia boys out here against Glenn Stewart and Colby Pello over here. It'll be a test for those guys. Of course, nothing Glenn Stewart hasn't seen before all those years in the NRL. And fitting to see Glenn Stewart skippering the side here this afternoon. Given it is Old Boys Day, he's always made his way back down here, even at the height of his NRL career, for this day, and now he's out there in the Devils' colours. Great to see. As we await a footy here. So Lulia with the inbound pass onto his brother. Some good contact first up there from the Devils. 20 metres out now, the Canaries. Murphy back on the inside for Henderson. Plenty of purpose in his carries early on. He'll play 10 metres out. McGregor onto Murphy again. He juggles that one. Dummies. Uncanny knack of isolating defenders, Mick Murphy. You can stand back and be mesmerised by him, as we see Syker crabbing his way back towards the right of the park. Laurie making that tackle with Rankmore. So early pressure here for the Devils. Robson right at the line for Dunning. Good tackle down low there by Stewart. And they'll say the pass was forward. So the Devils' defence, they stand up to the first test there, but plenty of intent and purpose in that set from the Canaries as well. We're certainly set for a belter this afternoon if the first couple of sets are anything to go by. See, Mick Murphy heavily involved in that set. He obviously didn't feature in the pre-season for the Canaries and just missed the start of the season as well. You can just see as they get a whiff of the back end of the season in those finals games, the veterans in this Dapto side really starting to time their run to perfection, it seems. So out of trouble, that's Pello. Laurie off the scrum. Juggles that one, but he holds on to it, takes it up over the 20. Speechley at dummy half again, Stanford. Onto Leotinganga. He's just short of the 30. Speechley onto Rankmore. Physical carry from Rankmore. Good work there from the Devils prop. And a quick play the ball as well. Speechley takes the opportunity, gets in behind them. That's what they'll be looking for this afternoon. We say often in calling the Devils matches, not the biggest pack in the comp, but a lot of football in them, hard as nails. And if they can start producing play the balls like that, the likes of Speechley, Green can really get on the back of it. So see Dunning now. Hit underneath there, Rankmore again. So some hit and stick early on from the Devils. The line speed is up as Murphy takes it there, and they've just a little bit too keen there, the Devils. Really were taking the metres away from the Dapto big men there. Don't like to see him, but it's one thing Pete McLeod might just cop if his side are going to be intent on producing that line speed. As we said, giving away a bit of size to their Dapto rivals here. Can't afford to give them a head of steam when they've got the footy. Lulia now onto Syker. Henderson. Tackled there by Speechley and Rankmore as well. One marker there, McGregor. Flat ball for Dunning. Tackled there by Stewart. Some numbers short side, Hurst in the line. They go the other way. Syker. Second man for Robson. Second man again for Freebarn. The floating pass over there to Keogh. Keogh is getting close to that sideline. Throws it back infield. They continue to juggle. So some hot potato footy here from the Canaries. Freebarn was outstanding last week. Harry Freebarn at the back through the final pass for 2 tries. That proved crucial as they shoot blindside there, the Canaries. Still going Harris on that side. He'll play it just inches from the try line. Robson, Murphy, flat ball for Henderson. And that just goes put down, and you put that down to Kieran Rankmore's pressure there. We said early on you can fall into the trap of sitting back and watching Mick Murphy work with the footy, but Rankmore put the veteran on his backside there and just put that little bit of pressure on the pass, force the error. Now it's the Devils coming out of their own end. Leotinganga up over the 30. Stanford. Disappointing to see he's dispensed with the Trent from Punchy haircut. Wade Stanford, he's going very much with the accountant look this afternoon. Colby Pello off his right foot. Tackled there by Lulia. Stewart at first receiver. Crabbing his way back in field. Tackled well underneath there. McGregor. Henderson over the top. Those two have met at NRL level a couple of occasions as Green puts this kick down there for Bryant to field. Great positioning there from Bryant. He scored the 2 tries in 7 minutes last week for the Canaries, did Josh Bryant on this flank to get them home, including the last effort, a 70-metre one with the tailwind behind him. No breeze at all to speak of this afternoon. It'll be a relief for all sides that played in those gale force winds that struck the Illawarra last week as they go blindside now. The Canaries. Harris pulled down there by Field on that side. And another penalty, so discipline early on an issue for the Devils. 3 consecutive sets. A piggyback penalty has helped the Canaries out of their half. It's something that Coach Pete McLeod will no doubt give to his men in fluoro to get the message out there to tidy that up. Certainly done well coming out of trouble themselves, the Devils. But discipline at their own end, just proving a bit of an issue at the moment as McGregor at dummy half again. Back on the inside for Dunning. Speechley making the tackle underneath. Good work from the number 9. Short side now for Robson. Long pass there for Harris. Kurt Field all over him again. McGregor, flat ball there for Dunning. He's dragged down 21 metres out. McGregor right into the line there. McGregor, flat ball for Robson, and great work outside in there from Pello, and he's got some open space in front of him. Freeburn making the tackle, had to be made as well. Oh, and, well, they're into it there, the boys here, Freeburn and Pello in back play, and the touchies in Riolo as well. So we've got a footy game and a bit of a blue going on. They eventually separate and go on with the game. Stanford takes it up over the 30. Speechley, time there Speechley, and he's hammered there in the end. He threw the dummy, and Jamie Dunning wasn't buying it at all. Hammers him to the ground. Green now drops that on the toe, takes a deflection. Didn't look like it was played at, so still the last tackle. Rodriguez drops that on the toe, straight through the legs of Keogh, and Will Tom will gather that one and score. Well, Nimi Keogh, he just played all around that one. Second kick so often it poses an issue for the back three, and we saw it there. Green's first kick taking a bit of a deflection, and Justin Rodriguez there put it on the toe, weighted it well. Nimi Keogh had a good shot at the footy, but just made a bit of a meal of it. And despite the pressure they've had to wear early on, the Devils, they'll open the scoring. So Zach Green with the tee, he'll attempt the conversion. See Glenn Stewart there just having a chat with referee Taylor Cleveland, no doubt, just asking a few questions about those early penalties. So Green, it's a tough one. About 10 in from touch over on that side. He certainly gets plenty of metres on his kick, Zach Green. He never falls short on the distance. Moves in, strikes that one pretty well, but waved away. So the score remains 4-0 in favour of the Devils. So a good response there to the early pressure from the Devils. No doubt, as they were coming back, the message would have been to tidy up that discipline. As Hurst will come forward to field that one. He juggles it. Leatinganga off the back fence. Straight into Murphy there. A good carry from Leatinganga there. He takes it over the 20. Tom in off the wing. Lulia doing the hard defensive work underneath there. McGregor again also involved. Face ball there for Pello. Goes off his right foot, and Lulia just reels him in by the jumper. Wasn't a whole lot in it. It just crept up slightly. In his defence, big Keith Lulia, he's about 7'9". But already we're seeing Colby Pello causing some problems over on this side with his footwork. Brother Tony not out there today, picking up some injuries, but both the Pello boys, plenty of headaches for opposing sides. As Speechley dummies there and almost goes through. Stanford. Rodriguez, flat ball for Laurie. Robson making that tackle as we see Stanford again onto Stewart. Stewart with some space to work here. Lulia coming in from the centres to make that tackle. Leotingunga, second man for Rodriguez. Flat ball for Rankmore. Well read there by Murphy in defence. Or rather Joel Reddy over there on that side. Speechley drops that on the toe and he'll chase for himself. He almost got there too, Speechley. And they'll say 20 metre tap, but some enterprising work there from the number 9. As you can see there, Wade Stanford plays such an important role for the Devils, just as that middle link, man. They don't like to play too much in the middle of the Devils. They like to play scrum line to scrum line. We touched on that pack. Very mobile, but not the biggest. So they attack blind sides and work their way up those scrum lines very, very well. Bryant now takes it up towards his own 40. Lulia. Pello comes again and still wrestling there. McBridey and Stanford also involved in that one as we see the change has been made. Big Stu Mason onto the paddock. An early spell for Jamie Dunning as that ball just, I think, brushed off the back of Michael Henderson there. He just went through as a bit of a decoy, Hendo, and it caught the back of his jumper and just threw Jeff Robson off a little bit there. So not the end to that set they would have been looking for. But certainly we are 15 minutes in and a hell of a battle we've got on our hands. So it will be Rodriguez to feed the scrum. Sure, what we're looking for here, I think the Canaries were a man short in the scrum. Rodriguez playing that one to Hurst at the back. Field, good contact there, Syker and Lulia. Speechley, Rankmore and McGregor right up there in the face of Rankmore that time. So the Canaries now responding with some quick line speed of their own, and there's the penalty. So we are seeing a lot of penalties here early on.
Doing 100 club, $5 a ticket, $2.50 the winner. Get involved quickly. Luke Green's got the bucket.
Leotingunga, a good carry, the leg drive he possesses. Always pinches that extra couple of metres. Stewart on the blind side, flat ball there for Pello. Tackled by Lulia. Stewart, Rankmore. Some space there, Laurie. He throws the pass there to Hurst. Some space there for Tom. He's one-on-one with Keogh. He goes off his left foot, but the Dapto defence comes, and they'll say the pass itself was forward. Or rather, no knock on there if we come out to the 20. So it looks like Tom over there just tried to get that footy down, couldn't quite do it. Henderson now. 25 metres out from his own line there, McGregor. Ready on that side. He takes it over the 30. McGregor at dummy half again onto Murphy. Rankmore gets him again, so it's obviously been a bit of a tip up there. Rankmore to be all over Mick Murphy, at least he has been early on, as Syker attempts this kick from inside the 40. It's a good one. He'll want some run on it, but it runs just that little bit too big. It'll go dead, so 7 tackles set there. Syker, though, he had caught Lachlan Hurst out at the back there. If he'd got the run on it he wanted, it would have gone into touch and been a 40-20. So a bit of a let off there. Had a fair heave on it there too, Syker. Just seemed to go straight when he wanted it to be a bit of a leg break. So Speechley with the ball, centre field. He comes towards our position here, and Bryant in underneath there. Good tackle from Bryant. Stewart. The hard carry there from Stewart. Speechley, Stanford had to reach backwards for that pass, so ball not quite going where they wanted in this set, the Devils. Stanford now will just tuck this one under and take it forward. Just shy of the halfway line. Zach Green puts this kick down. Freeborn coming forward to reel that, and he does it on the full. Not a lot of Harry Freeburn at the back, but possesses great feet, especially if you can get him with some space on a sweeping line, as Bryant almost goes straight through there, Speechley with the low tackle. They're getting up on the back of it there, Mason. Rankmore, some good solid defence there. Lulia, he had the arm free there, but he takes it to ground. Robson on the short side brings Reddy back to the 30. McGregor to Robson. He'll put this one high. He's looking for Keogh to get through, and Leah Tinganga some pressure there on Robson, and he spilt it there, and Keogh going towards the line, and Will Tom still wrestling with him. Great effort there from Will Tom. He just didn't call here, referee. Taylor Cleveland's just pulled that one up. I think we're going to come back out for the scrum, but Lachlan Hursty was in good position to take that one, but he just spilt it, perhaps having a bit of a look at the defence that was bearing down on him. So it will be a Canary scrum feed, 10 metres out. Good effort there from Tom. I tell you what, Keogh, very difficult to stop from that sort of close range. So they get a momentary reprieve at least. It is Keogh now taking that ball forward. Good contact there from Stanford. He plays the ball quickly, Keogh, so some space on this side. Zyka. Stewart there and Lulia. A couple of veterans coming together. And that'll be another penalty. So they're really starting to rack up now for the Devils. Murphy. Henderson. He takes the settler. Quick play the ball too from the skipper. Robson onto Reddy. Just a little bit sideways there from the Canaries. The ball out the back. Harris reels it in. But they're going to want a settling carry here, and Mason taking this one forward. Good run from Big Stu Mason. He got closer than he was probably entitled to. Leah Tinganga making the key tackle over the top, and that's another one, and you have to think a warning or a chat will go out there, because that's my rough count, about 6-2 or so, the penalty count there in favour of the Canaries. Mason plays that one to McGregor. Robson at first receiver. Inside ball for Henderson. He'll play it dead in front of the post. McGregor from close range. He loves a go from there, and he's got him into the in goal, but held up the call. Good tackle made there. I think it was Speechley underneath, and he's picked up a bit of a knock in doing so. And we'll have time off there, and just a halt in the Dapto Canaries momentum there. Got to give a wrap to the Devils' defence early on. They've really, despite being on their own try line for much of it, hung in there defensively, haven't offered much to the Canaries. But Speechley looks like he's okay. So he'll stay out there and carry on as Murphy at dummy half. Robson back on the inside there for Mason. Mason still backing his way towards the try line. McGregor, second man for Syker. Stewart up fast on the outside, forces him back infield. Mason again. That ball onto Robson. A great kick there from Robson in behind the in goal. Keogh going forward. He'll score. That was a beautiful kick there from Jeff Robson. And Keogh, he was denied just moments ago, but no denying him there.
Dapto 4 with a kick
Ball just slightly coming out the back, and Robson, just as players of his experience tend to do, was all in a bit of a rush, but seemed to have plenty of time to put that kick on the toe, and it sat up perfectly for Keogh over on that side. And he levels us all up there at 4 apiece. So Syker will attempt a conversion, friendlier kicking conditions than he dealt with last week at Dapto Showground. They assure me that breeze was even worse up at Rex Jackson Oval. So a tough week for all kickers and back threes last week, but conditions far more kind this afternoon. We see goal kicking in so many games this season being so important. Syker just a metre or two in from touch. He moves in. And that's come way across the post there, so waved away that one. The score remains 4-4 here at Parish Park. Probably a fair indication of the way this first 24-25 minutes have played out. Both sides punching and counter-punching. So it'll be green. That gets us back underway. Puts this one down, heaving down towards the far end, ready. He catches that one with the sun in his eyes. Just a metre short of the 20 there, ready. Mason. The offload there from Mason, a good one. Freeburn in support, dragged down by Stewart and Speechley in that tackle. Syker, an early shift here. Lulia with some space. He gets away from Pello the first time, but Colby Pello comes again. Stewart as well. McGregor on to Murphy. Henderson on to Murphy. Lulia, the flat ball there for Freeburn. There had been some space through the middle, but he did just spill that one, Freeburn. The play was on. He had timed his run. He just couldn't quite reel that one in. Certainly so far this afternoon, the Canaries have had a bit of joy just turning the ball back inside, testing out these men in the middle for the Devils. Had as much footy as the Canaries have had, they would want to work those men in the middle over. As they say, money in the bank, hopefully to get the payoff later in the game as Pello takes it up to the 40, met there by Reddy. So Pello will play it, Speechley at dummy half again. Rodriguez flat ball there for Laurie. Who, interestingly, Laurie looks like he's playing on the edge over there. More accustomed to seeing him plying his trade in the middle of the park, but gets a start on the edge this afternoon. Stanford just pokes his head through the Dapto line there, but dragged down. Green now. He's got Stewart back on the inside. Stewart off his left foot. Met there by Lulia and Mason. Speechley again, catching out the markers just a tad. Lodge now taking it up towards the 20. Rolled onto his back there by McGregor. Rodriguez puts that one high. It's a testing one for Keogh at the back, and taken up there by Field. He's gone miles into the air and put that one down, clear as day, even from our position up here in the Parish Park media box. And Field, he done very well there to reel that one in and get the ball down despite the attention of Keogh. And let me tell you, no mean feat to outdo Nimi Keogh in the air. Very, very adept there, but a beautifully weighted kick from Rodriguez. Just put Keogh in that tough position of standing flat-footed as the chasers come bearing down on you, and Field with that bit of a run in, managed to get up in the air and snaffle that one. Posty side second try, so 8-4 the score, 13 minutes before half time, kick to come. Was a beautiful kick there from Rodriguez. See the bench backed him in all the way. So Green with this assignment just about as tough as his last one. Both the tries for the Devils coming from kicks, so something for Coach Michael Henderson to look at half-time, just have a bit of a chat to his back three. As Green heaves that one and the flags go up, so 10-4 is the score, 6 points the margin, 12 minutes to go till half-time. So the ebbs and flows continue. Both these sides just separated by a point on the competition ladder. Congested as it is, of course, Dapto in fourth, just the one win behind the Rule, who take on Berkeley at Gibson Park today. So each week the ladder continues to change. Good carry there from Kyle Lodge. Came in off the back fence with a head of steam and pinches a couple of metres beyond the defensive line there. Will Tom is just shy of the 30. Zach Blay off his right foot, good contact there. McGregor getting through a mountain of work in the middle defensively, Dylan McGregor. Stewart back through the middle, looking for Hurst. Speechley goes short side to Rodriguez and he'll put the kick down towards Freeburn. It's a good one if it stays in field. It has. So the near perfect set after points there from the Devils. And they will make the Canaries bring it out from their own end, and all of a sudden it's the Canaries just looking that little bit weary. Had most of the early running, but possession starting to swing back towards the Devils just slightly. Keogh. First man off the scrum, tackled there by Stewart and Wade Stanford. Bryant now. Again, plenty of numbers in that tackle from the Devils. So pretty one-out stuff in this set from the Canaries, and it looks like Bryant's just been twisted a bit awkwardly in that one. Now Murphy takes it up to the 30. McGregor back on the inside for Henderson. Been really keen to get him behind that ruck. The Canaries has to have been on the tip sheet with the regularity they've gone back there. Syker again, he's looking for a 40-20. And it just bounces up for Hurst again, and that has to have gone forward there. I don't know what Hurst was thinking. He was very close to that touchline, but a fantastic kick there from Harry Syker. As we saw that one, he attempted the same thing a little bit earlier. It ran dead, but only needed the slight adjustment there. He got that one near perfect, and Hurst at the back not able to defuse that one. So it's the Canaries right back on the attack. Great kick from Syker. They were doing it tough out of their own end, the Canaries, but so often as we see, a good kick can turn an ordinary set into a great one. So we see the Canaries about to make some more changes. Penny Batiki with the interchange card in his hand, the Fijian international. Lulia off his right foot. Quick play the ball too. He almost beat McGregor to it. McGregor out from dummy half, going off his right foot. Still going McGregor. Can sniff out a try close to the line. Robson at dummy half. Murphy back on the inside to Mason. And the offload from Mason as well. McGregor. He's causing some problems with his ability to offload the footy, Stu Mason. Murphy to Robson, not quite the pass he was after there. It just went behind him slightly, and now it's hit the deck I think Reddy might have even got his toe to that one, and Keogh couldn't quite clean that one up, so the Devils, they survived that one. See out there, Matty Hancock from the Canaries out there in the yellow shirt. Not playing today, but you can see he perhaps wants to get involved and make a few tackles. So it is the Devils with it to do here. Tom. The ball's come out there, and I'm not sure how, and they'll say knock on, and Tom and Murphy just getting into it. I can tell you what, Mick Murphy's not the type of guy you wanted to get into a verbal battle with. One of the best in the business in that regard. But a spilt ball there, and perhaps some caution's going to be issued here by Cleveland. So it will be a scrum feed. So just like that, the pressure straight back on the Devils. They are coach killers, those type of errors. So you see that man Batiki has just gone onto the paddock. Joel Reddy earning a spell. Robson to feed the scrum. Freeburn at the back. Syker. Good crisp passing there, and Lulia. He loves that right arm fend across his body. Got rid of two defenders there, but Rankmore breaking from the scrum makes that tackle. Murphy at first receiver. Prop stops, goes again, finds his front. Looking for a quick play of the ball. He won't get it. Dunning now second man for Robson, and we see it again, just a little bit sideways from the Canaries. And great work again from Kurt Field over on that side. Defensively has been on song on that edge. He got up really quick, put all sorts of pressure on Penny Batiki there. And have done a good job coming out of trouble to straighten the attack up, the Canaries, but just when they get into that red zone, just going a little bit sideline to sideline. Hurst to the back of the scrum onto Tom, so if you're looking for redemption after the last carry, he gets to the play the ball on this occasion. Daly just come onto the paddock, and he's certainly one to watch. Josh Daly just coming into the action. We're 6 minutes before half time, no doubt. With such little time before the break, he'll be looking to run the footy out of dummy half. Can be quite lethal when he does. Daly onto Blay. Tackled there by Batiki and McGregor. Haven't got a tackle count on Dylan McGregor, but it has to be up there by now as we see Daly out from dummy half, met by Jamie Dunning and McGregor. Last tackle, they'll come right to Green. He's going to put this one high. End over end there for Freeburn, and he takes that without too much worries at the back. The hit and spin as well. Inside the 10, they've come in front of the kicker there. Green did look a little bit deep behind the line, so the chase is in front, and that is an absolute coach killer, that one. Can sort of cop the over-eagerness on the 10 or holding down in the ruck, but those sorts of ones, they're quite fundamental. Lulia again. Lulia has played some great footy in the back row this year, Lulia, we see him spend most of his time in the centres, but has really relished being that little bit closer to the action and certainly playing alongside brother Keith out here as Dunning spills that one, and Kyle Lodge just had a bit of a knock there on Murphy, and he looks in all sorts over there, Mick Murphy. Kyle Lodge immediately showing some concern. Be hoping Murphy's okay over there, but the Devils have certainly done a great job on him this afternoon. Certainly given him no time to work with the footy. And Kyle Lodge doing the defensive job there. Of course, no intent to injure there. So just a bit of a stoppage, and we see a bit of a conference with the referees. So still in a bit of strife, Murphy. He'll be reluctant to come from the field, we know that much. He is hard as nails, the Canaries veteran. And you see Michael Henderson there remonstrating with his troops there, really putting the rocket up them, Hendo. So we see that there, quite animated, the skipper, so not at all happy with the way some of these sets are ending here. And Zach Green with the touch finder. Not sure what the penalty was for. As we see, Rankmore now takes that one up towards the 30. Stewart's second man for Rodriguez. Some space on this edge. They hit Laurie, and well tackled there by Batiki, and he spilt that one, Laurie. So some pressure there from Batiki. Now Laurie and Batiki just exchanging some pleasantries there. That's two guys who won't take a backward step. So a let off there for the Canaries. They were starting to look under the pump there defensively. Lulia met there by Green and Stewart. And now a penalty for holding down there as well. So it's certainly something that will be on the list of both coaches at half-time here, discipline. We have seen a lot of penalties blown, far from a free-flowing game, as good as it has been in patches. Lulia met there by Stewart. Good contact from the Devils skipper, though Lulia still crabbing his way forward. Murphy back on the inside there for Henderson. 10-4 the score. We're 2.5 minutes here from half-time. So the Canaries would love to level up if they can before that siren. Murphy at first receiver. Second man for Robson. Back on the inside for Batiki. Still going, Batiki. So we see Freeburn now onto Syker, and that ball goes to nobody. Bryant crabbing his way back in field now, looking to recover the play. Lodge, good contact there from the Devils back rower. Bryant plays it. They'll go short side for Lulia. Drops that on the toe and giving chase, and now Hurst with some space, and Lulia just got knocked. Put on his backside there, Keith Lulia in chase of that kick, so Hurst reels that in with not too much trouble. Pello met there by Dunning. 2 minutes to go here before half time. We'll see if the Devils are willing to play this half out or if they'll chance their arm. Daly at dummy half onto Blay. Blay, Daly, Rankmore. Fantastic opening half from Rankmore. Hasn't had a spell. Just churned through the work, Rankmore. Green now from inside the 40. Kicks this one straight down the middle of the park. Freeburn coming forward to gather that one, and again does it without too much trouble. Gives the ball to Keogh. So a minute 20 left on the clock. So some time to mount something before the siren if the Canaries are willing and able. DJ Harris bounces away from a tackle, and Kurt Field's been left sprawled on the ground after attempting that one. Perhaps just the wind knocked out of him. Short side now they go. Straight back there. Smart play from Jeff Robson. Might have taken a knock down that pass, it has. But Robson, he just saw that field had been left behind there with the injury and went straight down that blind side to test them out. That's the experience of the 189 game NRL halfback, as we see Henderson, and that ball's come straight out. Had to be a penalty too. Raising the ire of some of the old boys here, referee Taylor Cleveland, in trying to keep these sides apart. So 24 seconds on the clock. They'll get one play and one play only, one would think. So this will be it. 16 seconds left on the clock. We'll see what sort of trick shot they can produce here, the Canaries. Second man for Freeman. He's gone for the tip on there, and good pressure again from Pello on that side. And McBride ends up with the footy, and that'll be just about all she wrote in the first half. As Blay takes this one forward, and that is the siren. So there it is, a great opening stanza. Both sides really giving it to each other in that opening 40 here on Old Boys Day at Parish Park. Plenty to be written in the second half. We'll be back with all that second half action in just a little while. Welcome back to Parish Park as we just see the Canaries making their way back onto the field. The Devils juniors, they're not prepared to get off it just yet. Been some great action down there. I tell you what, the future looks bright for the Devils Footy Club if the under-6s game we just saw is anything to go by. So we see the witches' hats there. Matty Ray with the red shoes. Just need him to click his heels and say there's no place like home. And who knows where we might end up. Getting right in the spirit of things is Devils President Matty Ray. May just cost myself a few Coke Zeros with that one. But we'll see, here we go. The Devils making their way back onto the paddock now. Glenn Stewart leading them out. I think Coach Pete McLeod will be pretty happy with what his side produced there. A lot of pressure early on they had to absorb there, and they came back and managed to punch through with 2 tries, both coming from kicks, but saw not much of the Canaries' end there. Most of it played out in the Devils' red zone. So Pete McLeod would be happy with what he saw there. As we saw just before half-time, Michael Henderson far from that in addressing his troops, so I imagine it might have continued at half-time. Have had their opportunities, the Canaries, but haven't quite made as many of them stick as they would have liked. 40 minutes to play, though, to get that right. Huge ramifications this match for the top 2 hopes of both sides, and of course the wider top 4. Berkeley had plenty of teams looking over their shoulders this season. They're hovering right on the edge. As we see, as we look there, Pello. Good run there from Colby Pello on that side. Takes it up to the opposition 40 as Stewart there. Flat pass for Rankmore. He gets away from the tackle of Dunning, but Henderson and Lulia involve themselves there to make the tackle. Green just drills this one down towards Freeburn. He feels that one. He might have been tempted to just get out of the way. It was plenty of roll on it. May have rolled dead, but takes the conservative option there. Freeburn brings it back to the 10. Has been faultless at the back, Freeburn. He's had a few kicks to field and done quite well. Made it look easy at times as Batiki with this carry. Gets the offload away to Robson. Keogh now making his way infield. Whenever the Canaries have troubled the Devils this afternoon, it's come off the back of those offloads. Stu Mason from the bench producing a couple. Penny Batiki there as well. It is where you can get some joy against the Devils, as we said. As we just see there, Lulia just had a look at the defensive line, spills that one cold. Gives himself a wrap over the knuckles for that one, and Laurie coming away with it. So not the end to their very first set of the second half they would have been looking for. And Blay dumped on his back there. Jamie Dunning and Henderson doing the defensive work. Hurst fends away from one. He'll play it 30 metres out. Stewart still edging his way forward. Stewart 20 metres out is the skipper. Lodge right to the line. Flat ball there for Rankmore. A good one there from Lodge. He's going for the try. Lodge, he just lost his footing. It was a great piece of play there from the 2 men playing in the front row at the moment, Rankmore and Lodge. He just pulled down just short. Rodriguez off his right foot. He's dangerous when he runs the footy. Justin Rodriguez, as Green kicks for himself there, and Freeburn brings that back, and off the shoulder the tackle. Referee Taylor Cleveland is the call. Looked like he got it right from where we're sitting, although young Harry Freeburn in the back might disagree. He's clutching at his forehead there. Lulia now to McGregor with the play the ball. This is Lulia. Drops that one out the back to nobody. And they'll call it knock on, so Lulia, just a couple of moments he'd like to have back at the start of this second half. So Jamie Dunning, I'm yet to go watching a full season without Jamie Dunning ending up with tape around his head at some stage, the warhorse. Certainly has no regard for his own body, Jamie Dunning, the way he carries the footy. But been a great player in consecutive runs to the grand final for the Canaries, and of course a premiership in that as well. But it is the Canaries under pressure early in this half. Self-made pressure, it has to be said. They've spilt the ball back-to-back sets, their first couple of the second stanza. And the Devils will go back on the attack. It'll be Rodriguez to feed the scrum. Josh Daly at the back. And Daly, no, they'll come back. Not sure what the issue there was at the scrum, but we'll have a do-over. So we have another go. Daly onto Green, onto Pello. Pello back in field. Not a lot of Colby Pello, but incredible ability to slip tackles. Daly onto Rankmore. Straight and hard there from Rankmore. Daly at dummy half. Lodge off his left foot. Lodge is going to go straight over there, Kyle Lodge. Well, he went super close just a set earlier, Kyle Lodge, and a set later the male model goes over from close range.
Let's try to Western Suburbs by Kyle Lodge. From West 14 with the kick to come.
As we see Zach Green will attempt the kick from right in front there of Kyle Lodge's try. We're 5 minutes into the second half, Lodgy, just for your own records. And certainly the easiest assignment of the afternoon thus far for Zach Green. No doubt Michael Henderson at the back there will be letting his troops know that that was self-inflicted pressure there. 2 sets coming out of trouble. They couldn't quite complete those sets, and now Zach Green will attempt this one in front, looking to put that margin out to 2 converted tries. A lot of games we've seen between these two sides, and indeed between all top 4 sides this season. It's a big buffer to have. And he pilots that between the posts, Green. So 16-4 the score. We're 6 minutes into the second half. Psycho with the tee will get us back underway. We see Stu Mason just coming onto the paddock, so Jamie Dunning perhaps going to get a bit of a better look at that head gash he was sporting there with the tape around his head, as Dylan Laurie feels that well for a front row come second row this afternoon. Gets away from a couple of defenders, though. In fact, Jamie Dunning's still out there, so Mason, it appears, will just move into that middle rotation. We see Mick Murphy looks like he's moved to the dummy half roll. Glenn Stewart now off his right foot. Takes it over the 30. Blay takes it to the 40. Daly at dummy half, he goes right to Green. That's a kick from inside his 40. Freebarn going across to it. He'll have to move to get there. And he spilled that there. Harry Freebarn, well, I gave him a rap earlier for his work on kick defusal this afternoon, but Zach Green, perfect kick from inside his 40. Freebarn going across to try to gather it, couldn't get there. So another opportunity here for the Devils. So really twisting the knife here early in this half. The Devils have had all the footy and building all that pressure. Rodriguez takes it right to the line there. Daly at dummy half comes back in field towards Blay. Met there in the tackle of Robson. Daly again. Rankmore, second man for Green. He'll go flat there for Stewart. Stewart gets away from the tackle of Syker. Syker comes again. 8 metres out now, Stewart. A slower play the ball than he would have been looking for as Rodriguez at first receiver. They go on to Blay. Blay with that settler directly in front of the post. Flat ball there for Laurie. Tackle underneath there from Robson. A good one. They'll go short side. Rodriguez drops that on the toe and Keogh's gone straight past it again. And Will Tom scores his second in almost identical fashion to his first one again. Keogh just all around that one, tried to scoop it up, couldn't quite field it, and Will Tom has his second try. So the margin just starting to blow out now. It's at 16 points. Zach Green will be looking to make it the 3 converted tries. Still 30 minutes to go, so far from done and dusted, but that incline getting steeper for the Canaries by the minute in this second half. Again, as we've said, all 3 of these tries rather both the second half tries here for the Devils have come off directly off the back of mistakes. So Green sums up the assignment. He struck that one well, Green, but it's just coming back to the left of the post. So just a little bit too much purchase on that one. So 20-4 remains a score, and perhaps just giving Dapto that little bit more of a sniff, keeping that margin inside the 3 converted tries. But they're going to desperately need some footy here. We're 11 minutes in and they've had precious little of it, and it's all been at their own end of the park. Syker puts this one high up into the sun, and the bouncing football, and they've come up with it there. Josh Bryant, he might get dragged into touch though, but they'll say penalty. It looked like, well, he hadn't quite found the deck there, Josh Bryant, but it's one of those ones we inevitably see go in favour of the man with the ball as Mason now. So just like that, the Canaries right back on the attack. Mason's only a metre out. Murphy, Batiki, Batiki has the arm free, had no support though. They sort of went to sleep on that play there, the Canaries. Murphy, Syker, dropping it on the toe early in the count. It's gone in behind, and McBride goes back for it, and he gets into the field of play. So a bit of a gamble play there from Syker. Wasn't the last. He's dropped it on the toe and gives the ball straight back to the Devils. Perhaps the moment he might like to have over again. Now it's Rodriguez onto Laurie. Laurie gives the ball some air there to field, and Nimi Keogh all over him. On this side, Stanford, met there by Henderson and Robson. Daly, second man for Green. Green will kick early again. Freebarn gets to that one too. Relieved to see where that one ended up as he takes it back up towards the 40. So an early kick from Green, and certainly looks to be a good play there from Green. We see the Canaries boys just slow coming back on side. Had to do a fair bit of defensive work early on, so a clever kick there from Zach Green, a composed play. And just a let-off play there. Kyle Lodge giving away the penalty. And a play on quickly from the Canaries. Henderson driven backwards in that one. Plays it to Murphy. Flat ball there for Batiki. Batiki with the offload. Now Murphy at dummy half. Or rather Robson at dummy half. Murphy playing the ball as we look at Reddy. And he's thrown that to Freebarn, and he did well to reel that in. Harry Freebarn. That was not the pass he was looking for. Robson on to Batiki. Quick play the ball to call from his outside men. Some numbers on that left edge if they can go there. Batiki just playing that one a little bit slowly. They come right to Robson. He puts the kick in. He's looking for Keogh in the air. We know how good he is there, and he's reeled that straight back in. So there you go. He said he's had a few forgettable moments on kick reception at the other end, Nimi Keogh, but he got right up in the air to reel that one in. And the hit back comes. Bit of a pet play for them this season. The Canaries, Jeff Robson, well aware of Keogh's aerial abilities on this right flank. He put that one on a sixpence. And Keogh drags it out of the air and scores, and the match is right back on. It's a big attempt here from Zyker if he can get that margin back to the 10 points. With 25 minutes still to play, that's plenty of time to reel in a 10-point deficit if he can knock this one over. Certainly not an easy one by any stretch. He moves in and he strikes that not too badly, but it goes across the face again. So 20-8 the margin. The Devils bring it back to halfway. Zach Green with the tee. Just noticing Michael Henderson just limping there. He's carried calf injury for the last little stretch, the last season or so. Hopefully just a cork there, given how important he is to this Canaries side in the playing capacity. Mason back onto that one. Lulia, geez, that pass was a flat one. Lulia on the blind side, but he takes it forward. You can just see already the Canaries, that try, put a spring right back in their step. Mason with the offload there, a good one. Have touched on his ability to get that arm free, Stu Mason. Just on the back of it now, Canaries with their tails up. Murphy goes blind dummies. 20 metres out. Last tackle. So a good set up the paddock there on the back of points from the Canaries. This is a midfield bomb, and Keogh went up for it again. He had first crack at it, but he spilled it, as has Rodriguez. So that will be the change over, but a good set on the back of points there from the Canaries. have said they've been the minor premiers the last 2 years. Of course, the premiers in 2016, the Canaries. So when it comes to absorbing pressure, they do it as well as anybody. And now right back in this one, looking to counter punch. Field onto Leotinganga. He's had a long stint off the paddock after a very good first shift, Leotinganga, so Pete McLeod will be looking for plenty from him in this second effort. Stanford now. He's up to the 30. Daly. Well spotted there from Daly. He just sensed the markers have been caught. Slow away from that one, and a quick play the ball on the back of that one as well. So Stanford, I don't know why he went back in field there. He had them all flat-footed and struggling to stay inside the 10 as Syke has come up there and no restart. Yes, we have it. Cleveland has waved it down, so we do see another set for the Devils. Syke, I'm not sure he intended to charge that one down. Was just looking to put pressure on Rodriguez, but it takes the deflection, and now the Devils right back on the attack. Daly out of dummy half, Rankmore. There's been a harder working forward out there than Rankmore this afternoon. I haven't seen them, as we see Green back on the inside for Stewart. He's got Hurst back there and they go back in field, but we did see back on the inside there. I didn't quite catch what happened in back play, but there was a Dapto player down and Hurst did stroll through a huge gap in the defence there, and the whistle straight away from Taylor Cleveland. So Dapto, they get away with that one. Ready. The hit and spin. The physicality from the Devils this afternoon been top notch, really making the Canaries work for their metres. Henderson takes this one back in behind the ruck. Batiki, he'll follow it up as well. But again, the first up contact, very good from the Canaries. Syke, at first receiver, Lulia gets away from Green the first time. The offload for Freebarn, some space on that edge. Good work over there from McBridey. Pello's copped a knock there, so he's hobbling on the blind side, and Murphy spots it, goes that way. Freebarn, and well, Pello was hobbling, now he's got the footy. Miraculous recovery there from Colby Pello. Takes the intercept and puts his side back on the attack. McBridey hammered there by Michael Henderson. Leotinganga now. Good carry and leg drive again. Daly, Stanford. Second man for Rodriguez. Flat ball for Laurie. Robson and Mason making that tackle. They go blindside. Rodriguez, flat ball there for Field. Batiki hits but can't stick. Robson and Syke finishing off that one. Or rather, it's Reece Bowditch who's just come onto the paddock. A good kick from Rodriguez, and they'd have been tempted to try to leave that one go dead there, Syke, but he cleans that up. And the tackle made by Daly. So a very composed, measured kick there from Justin Rodriguez. He gets the repeat set. And I'll tell you what, the Canaries behind the try line, some hands on hips, end on knees, looking very worse for wear. They'll have to dig deep and find something to repel the Devils here as Syke puts this one high. Rodriguez on a Leotinganga. He steams onto that one. Well, there's a carry and met well in the defence too by Keogh and Bowditch. Stanford, certainly no backward steps in that collision as Stanford plays it to Daly, gets out from dummy half again. Leotinganga, his second carry of this set, and another good one as well. So he'll be in his bonnet since coming back onto the paddock in this second half. Stanford, flat ball for Rankmore, the hit and spin. Tackled there by Lulia. Daly, short side for Green, flat ball there for Stewart. Stewart. I think he might have almost got there if he'd pinned the ears back there, Stewart, but Green, he manages to regather it. He got a little bit too cute on that kick, but he gets the ball back. So Laurie puts the kick in, and I'll tell you what, for a Oh, Keogh's done very well there. Still going Keogh. And they're saying held the call. So a great effort there from Keogh, and I tell you what, his team needed it. I don't know how well they would have lasted another set. So Keogh, he beat several defenders to get his side back into the field of play there. You could throw a blanket over them at the moment, the Canaries. Henderson puts his hand up for this carry out of trouble, but still very bunched behind the play the ball. Bowditch, the freshman on the paddock, he takes it up towards the 20. Henderson again, the skipper, puts his hand up, so putting his side on his back. He had the offload as well. Stu Mason, the pass for Robson, and Robson, well, the tip-on's gone straight into the arms of Kurt Field. And you just notice some of the heads drop there from the Canaries. They'd really got back on the front foot, but the ball straight back into the arms of the Devils, and the pressure right back on them. Robson took the chances there with the tip on. I'll tell you what, if he found his outside men, they were in space, but it's a game of inches indeed. Stanford, first receiver, second man for Rodriguez, again for Field. He's got Harris one-on-one there, and DJ Harris has pilfered him in the footy, I think. No, he lets it go. And they're 10 metres out still, and Green with it, his first carry of the afternoon, his first taste of the action. Daly, Rodriguez will be looking for a repeat again. He's put that right near the upright, and Lulia spilt that one, and that'll be a try. No, they're going to say double knock on, an interesting one. So a knock on in goal, the first one from Lulia. And they'll say it took a deflection. I think Hurst was the one who planted the footy there, but double knock on the call. So another set to last here, the Canaries. They're looking absolutely out on their feet in the in goal at the moment. Syker taking as much time as he can with this restart, and he puts this one deep again. Leah Tinganga steaming onto that one again. Some good contact there from Lulia. So both sides, they're throwing their bodies into it here. No thoughts of self-preservation. Green takes it over the 20. Speechley dummies. He pokes his head in through the other side of the line. Rodriguez. Good defence there from Harris. Came outside in, had to make that tackle. So good work there from Harris. He's going to look to get back out on his edge. They go that way again. Laurie, second man Rodriguez. He'll play it as the last tackle metre out. Zach Green infield. He'll be looking for another repeat. He's dropped that. He's looking for the post, and Freebarn, well read there from Freebarn. It wasn't a bad kick by any stretch there from Green. He dropped it on the toe and had weighted it well, but Freebarn right there, and Green just lingering too long in that one, and that's a huge let-off penalty because the Canaries were just looking at each other, asking who was going to take that next run. Still look a little bit that way, but that's certainly a relieving one. And got to give a rap to the Canaries' defence there. The game was on the line for them in those couple of sets, and they found something and kept the Devils out to give themselves a sniff at this one with 14 minutes to play. Murphy at first receiver. Dummies. Be made to play it there on the 30. McGregor, Syker, back on the inside for Lulia. Had the arm free again. As we've said, it is when they've looked the most dangerous with the footy. Dapto has been when they can get that second phase play. Henderson, McGregor, Murphy, dummies outside, goes inside for Freebarn. He looks for the offload there, and well, they've just put it down there, but it was opening up for them, the Canaries. They're just perhaps guilty of chasing this 12-point margin all at once. But not going away, absorbed a mountain of pressure at the other end, but still looking to ask some questions of the Devils' defence when they have the footy. Hurst onto McBridey. Hurst now back infield. He'll be made to play it on his own 40. Speechley. Green now towards halfway. Stanford off his left foot. Geez, he nearly went through there, Stanford. McGregor did just enough to halt him, and he's picked up a knock too. So some walking wounded there for the Canaries. Really all they can do to hang on here. Hurst with some space again. He gets away from the tackle of Harris. Harris comes again and grasses him here 25 metres out. They get right up on the kick of their Murphy. Did just enough to elevate that kick, and now Lulia comes forward to it. So good work there from Murphy back on this side of the paddock. Bright now with some space. He's quick. He's got around Colby Pello, and he's dropped the ball as well. Bryant, what a turnaround there. It looked like he was away. Looked like he'd burned Colby Pello for pace on that side, but Pello just that last little effort with the ankle tap. The Canaries, though, they're just not going away. Been some good pressure on Rodriguez there from Murphy back in field just to put that kick a bit high, not as deep as they would have liked. Lulia reeled it in and found Bryant, who can sniff out a try from anywhere on the paddock. 11 minutes to go, so the Canaries, they'll need to find the hit-back try quickly, one would think. Can't leave themselves too much to do down the stretch. Although you cast your mind back to last week, they were trailing with 7 minutes to go. Produced 2 tries in that period to snatch that win. Sure, Pete McLeod caught that on the Bar TV stream and might be reminding his players of that one as we speak. Laurie takes it up towards the Canaries 40. Stanford, second man for Green. Hurst. He's held there 40 metres out. Stewart hits this up towards the 30. Green, right to the line, flat ball for Stanford. They were sweating on him there defensively, Stu Mason and Mick Murphy. Rodriguez, he takes that right to the line for that kick, and Keogh will his nightmare. Nimi Keogh's nightmare on kick reception continues. This time it's Kurt Field who scores that one, but Rodriguez, he did well. He took it right to the line and dropped that on the toe, but Keogh had positioned himself well and was right on top of that one, but he couldn't reel it in. And another try conceded, but as we see Michael Henderson over there just puts the arm around him. Says, we've got you, mate, but Keogh, he's certainly not being easy on himself there in his reaction, and with 10 minutes to go, that may be the killer blow there. Indeed, it is the 4th try from a kick this afternoon. Of course, Kyle Lodge had the 1 try off his left foot near the post, but the rest all coming through kicks. Got to give a rap to both Rodriguez and Green, the man who will attempt this conversion, have been very, very good on the kicking front this afternoon.
Play with the left side.
So perhaps the toughest one of the afternoon for Zach Green here. Moves in Green, and again he gets a good knock on it, but just misses to the left.
Second version was unsuccessful. West 24, Dapto 8.
Tyker now with the restart. 8 minutes left in this one. Rodriguez goes over there. He's left Keogh in his wake. Brody Hawkins has just come onto the paddock for the Canaries. Good run there from Will Tom, and we will see a stoppage in play there, as Nimmy Keogh's seen to at the back. So Keogh still being seen to.
What about Lodgies? Oh, the male one. No, look. Yeah, you should have heard me upstairs.
Will Tom now will get us back underway. Nimmy Keogh coming from the field, it looks like. So Penny Batiki with the card.
They're out of interchange.
So they may be out of interchange here, Dapto, so they may have to go the distance with the 12 men if Keogh's not right to continue. No, Patiki's about to come on the paddock, so just a bit of a mix-up there as Leah Tinganga again with another good carry. The Devils. Rodriguez. We just said earlier how dangerous he can be running the footy. And I'll tell you what, in this last little stretch when the game's been there to one, the number 7 been fantastic for the Devils as Green drops that on the toe, and that'll be...
Get him in, boys. Get him in.
Bryant. Well, he's done very well there. Bryant, he just sized up Brad Speechley, went straight at him and gets back into the field of play. So good work there from the Canaries winger. And it's Henderson there out of dummy half. So an unaccustomed role for him.
You don't see that
when Lulia away from dummy half. 30 metres out from their own line. Lulia take it up towards the 40. Hawkins from dummy half. He's looking for the 40-20 himself there, and they're saying a knock on there in the play the ball. So the Devils looking for more points here with 6 minutes to play. You see Keogh looks like he's been had his head taped up, and the head taped up, so he's going to see out this one. So this scrum just taking a little while to pack. Pello now away from the scrum, takes it over the 40. And he's been in the wars just in this last couple of minutes, Pello. Stanford still going, he pokes his head through, takes it over the 30. Speechley again, he can go through the line there. He's not the fastest player out there on the paddock, but he can sniff out a gap, Speechley. Then Murphy, an elbow or arm issue. He's coming back on side, so not sure what he's done. It's a wrist or a arm problem for Murphy. He's going to have to see this one out because just about down to their last interchange, the Canaries, although they didn't burn that one with Keogh coming from the field. Tell you what, the Devils old boys really making their feelings known here down the stretch.
Not all. Woodsy had to work his stuff. Boy, young bloke, he's still there, sitting over there.
So 5 minutes to go here, 24-8 the score. If you've just tuned in, it's not quite the indication of the game we've seen, but the Devils certainly right on top since we saw kick-off in the second half. Leah Tinganga, he deserves a try and he'll get there as well.
It's his first try.
And I think he's off the nudie run with that one, judging by the reaction of his teammates there. Looks like they weren't at all keen to see him do the nudie on Mad Monday because they're celebrating.
The junior of Illawarra.
Celebrating like you wouldn't believe there. But a great effort. His second stint, Leah Tinganga's second stint in this game has been outstanding. Really put his side on the front foot. Deserves the 4-pointer. And that will put the game to bed if it wasn't already. You can put that down to the fatigue in the Dapto defence. They had some bodies there, but had a mountain of defensive work to get through in this second half. As we see the old boys there too, the tins perhaps affecting their mathematics there. But the margin, as we see on the scoreboard, is 28-8 with the kick to come. So Green from in front. See a few coming from the field for the Devils now too. Glenn Stewart earning an early mark. Josh Daly as well. And now we see Colby Pello as well coming from the field as Green knocks that one over. So 30-8 is the score. 3 minutes 50 on the clock. As the clouds really come over now and cast their shadows over Parish Park. 3 minutes 38 to go, but you sense there's plenty more to go into this evening for the West Club and the old boys. Syker puts this restart high. Rodriguez coming forward to field it. Green steamy onto that one. And he's met there by Keogh and Robson. Had a head of steam up there, the big fella. Tom now in off the wing. Has the double already. Will Tom, and you just sense the Devils. They're well up in this one, but you just sense they're looking for more points. They're not about to shut up shop just yet. Speechley at dummy half. Leah Tinganga, the try scorer. Another good carry. Between him and Rankmore up front, really got their side on the front foot. Keogh, the bounce again, a horror one for Keogh. Field looking on the inside for the try, and Speechley will score. So the afternoon on this right edge, horror afternoon, continues for the Canaries, and the score really starting to blow out now. I'll tell you what, Brad Speechley deserves a 4-pointer as well. Been really good at dummy half, particularly early on in that match. Had to do a lot of defence early on, but still found a way to poke his head through the other side of the Canaries' defence from dummy half. Get his side on the front foot. And with Daly proving a very good 1-2 punch out of dummy half for Pete McLeod. 1 minute 15 on the clock, so might be the last bit of action we see. I can't imagine the Canaries will be too keen to jog up here and get us back underway. Green raises the flags. We're inside the final minute here, so the Canaries, they're jogging up towards halfway. But it will be the final margin, an emphatic return to form for the Devils. As we said, they came into the match with a point to prove, if not to the outsiders, at least to themselves, and they've answered some very big questions today. They've really been, from the get-go, very good with and without the footy. And Syca does get us underway. Rodriguez coming forward to field this one. Green steaming onto that one again, and he's gone through the big fella. He's away, looking for the offload, and Robson. Well, I might have jumped the gun a bit early. They were looking for more points there, the Devils, but they won't be forthcoming. Mason with this carry as the clock winds down.
Print media, Kimmy Queen, the agency, Shire Steel.
And there it is, the full-time siren. Dapto with the last use of the footy, and Batiki will see us out. So that's all she wrote here at Parish Park. The West Devils celebrating their old boys' day with a 36-8 win over the Dapto Canaries. As we said, an emphatic return to form for the Devils. Certainly remain a big force to be reckoned with in the Illawarra League, as that top four battle and the battle for the top two spots continues. I've been Mitch Jennings. Thank you very much for joining us on Bar TV, wherever you may be watching. We'll see you out there next week somewhere in the Illawarra.